welcome all of you today on our webinar. Today we are going to talk about new mobility behavior after COVID-19. This webinar is organized by Polish National Committee of PIARC, World Road Association. And what is also important, this webinar is recorded and then it will be published on our YouTube channel of the Polish Road Congress. So then you can find it and come back to this webinar. Here on your right side, you have chat. Please ask questions to our speakers. You will have this option all the time. Please mention to whom you are asking this question. Then on the end, it will be easier for us to dedicate this question to the right person. For the opening speech, I would like to ask our President of Polish National Committee, Chair of the Polish Road Congress, Mr. Zbigniew Kotlarek. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Ola. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome all of you on behalf of PIARC National Committee Poland and also on behalf of 4 friends from Czech Republic, Hungary and Slovakia. I would also like to thank PIARC's COVID response team for their excellent efforts since the outbreak of the coronavirus pandemic. Also, thank you for awarding us with this time slot on Wednesday, reserved for high-level webinars in English. I hope we will meet your expectation and high standards for you have set. Next slide. Okay, let me start with a brief introduction to V4. In this map, Central Europe, 4 countries are filled with dark blue. They are clockwise from the top: Poland, Slovakia, Hungary, and Czech Republic. Together, they form V4. V4 stands for Visegrad 4 or Visegrad Group. The V4 was formed in 1991 and intensifying mutual cooperation and friendship among 4 Central Europe countries. The commemorate Congress in Visegrad in 1335 attended by kings of Bohemia, Hungary, and Poland. Please don't analyze these Weber symbols in the map. They show situation on Monday night. Next. V4 was institutional structure over the rotating presidency. Cooperation between respective ministers plays and important within the V4 framework. This result is in a number of joint projects also in field of transportation and tourism. The best known project of this kind is Via Carpathia Road, currently under the construction. V4 cooperation consists mutual contacts at all levels, from the highest level political summits to experts and diplomatic meetings to activities of the non-governmental associations, the neighboring regions and cultural institutions. In line with the general approach, we invited our friends from other V4 countries to the sorry, but you see, I think it is an okay. Sorry. In line with the great approach, we invited our friends from our 4 countries to 19 our mutual cooperation. On December 3rd, 2019, the letter of intent of close cooperation between the PIARC national committees of the V4 countries was signed in Warsaw. The ultimate goal of close ties will be the establishment of the Visegrad Road Association, a regional agreement of the National Association and Committees. The national committees of PIARC will exchange experience and develop technical knowledge and good practice in roads and transportation sectors. We planned an international conference in June 2020, located in the beautiful town of Lidzbark-Warmiński in northern Poland. Because of COVID-19, we had to cancel this conference. Today's webinar is just a taste of what could have happened there. Next one. Okay. Conference was focused on the role of bicycles and other means of personal transportation, like scooters in tourism and everyday transportation, including commuting. Hope this initiative will be carried out in more favorable circumstances. Ironically, COVID-19 ate topically the main theme of the cancelled conference. The reasons are fear and reflections of our flights for tourism, more stress and heavily lifestyle of outdoor activities. Beats of popularity of bicycles and other personal means of transportation. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us this afternoon. Have a nice and interesting webinar.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, for this welcome speech and for this introduction of the Visegrad Group. I believe that all our colleagues now who participate in this webinar can understand about which region we are talking and what are the ties that are between us. Thank you once again. And what is important today, we will talk about post-COVID situation. As all of you know, it influenced heavily our traffic. Less people is using public transport, more and more people using their own cars, what also influence our road network, which is more crowded. And for this reason, one of the ideas is to convince people to use their own bicycles, own scooters for short distances, what would be the best for our networks. But for this, we need good infrastructure, and also this infrastructure for bicycles, which must be safe and well prepared. And for this reason, we are here, and we would like to talk about those issues together with our friends from the Visegrad Group. As the first speaker or speakers, because we will have a few of them, I will ask our colleagues from Slovakia. Just let me look for our Slovak colleagues. They are here. So we'll have three of our colleagues. Mr. Marian Hantak, who is the secretary of the Slovak National Committee. We'll have Michał Hladký from the Ministry of Transport and Construction of the Slovak Republic, Institute of Transport Policy, Department of Public Passenger Transport. And he will be supported by his colleague Lucia Žitna from the same department from the ministry. We can see you all perfectly, so I would like to welcome all of you. Hello from Warsaw to Bratislava. And please, the floor is yours. I will open your presentation. Just turn on your microphone also, please.
Sorry. So you introduce us, and I wanted only say hello to all the participants of this webinar from Slovakia, on myself, my colleagues here, and also my chief and president of our PIARC National Committee, Mr. Šedivý, who is currently holiday. So the first part of the mobility presented by Lucia, and then we'll continue Mr. Hladký. So I will give the floor to Lucia.
Hello, my name is Žitná Lucia, and the first part I would like to speak about is cycle transport and cycle tourism. In Slovakia, we have 550 kilometers of paths for cycling transport, which are used for commuting to school or to work. And then we have 14,500 kilometers of cycle touring routes, which are used for free time. 125 million euro was invested in building safe cycle paths during years 2007 and 2020, and from the state budget was invested circa 15 million euro, and from the EU funds 110 million euro. In the next period, our goal is to make every effort to obtain funds from the EU and the next generation plan. Okay. In year 2019, the cycle call was announced in Slovakia. 61 projects has been approved out of 99, and in a total amount of approximately 13 million euro. Support of cycling transport and cycle touring was provided in 3 areas. The first one was a project documentation for the construction of cycle paths. The second one was construction of cycle paths, and the third one was bicycle stands. The condition for getting the provision of the subsidy is 5% co-financing of the applicant. That is very important to say. So, the next slide. We are going to speak about the strategic documents and legislation. In Slovakia, we have approved such a called National Cycle Strategy. This strategy was approved in 2013. An update is currently being prepared together with the definition of national network of cyclopaths, which is a part of inter project Danube cycle plans. Very important in Slovakia is that we have a new act. It is Act number 151 from the year 2019 on provision of subsidies to support development of cycling transport and cycle touring. This act was the base for preparation of Cycle Call 2019. Therefore, it is very important. So, systematic solution for financing the support of building cycle paths is being considered, similar to the Czech lands. We are talking about re-establishment of the National Transport Infrastructure Fund in Slovakia. The ministry has established in this year intersectoral working group, and this group helps to develop cycle transport and cycle tourism in order to improve the cooperation of group members. We have such a called National Cycle Coordinator. It is our colleague from the ministry. His name is Peter Kulčka, and he is cooperator and is cooperating with many other regional and city coordinators. Now I'm going to talk about Sustainable Mobility Plan. This is basic document in the field of sustainable mobility. And in Slovakia, there has been working out such a called urban mobility plans documents in regions and regional cities, which is a must for obtain EU funds in the next program period. So let's talk about the situation after the declaration of COVID-19. In Slovakia, there was a decrease in bicycle sales in May 2020. In June, the level of sales was the same as before the pandemic, and now we are expecting increase at the end of the year. There was increase in sustainable mobility, means bikes, compared to car transport in the city. And what is very important to say is that in Slovakia are much more used transport modes like a scooter boat. You can see it on the picture. They are the green one. And then bicycle, for example, in our city, capital city, Bratislava, it is a Slovnak bike. You can see it on the picture. And the second one is a public bike, which are operated by Antic Telecom, and the second white are such called white bicycles operated by non-profit organization Cycling Coalition. And I have to say too that passengers were afraid to travel in Slovakia by public transport for safety reasons. So, and now I'm okay. And now Michał, bye.
So hello to all participants of this webinar. We are going to continue with our presentation. It's needed to say that not only huge investments in building safe cycling infrastructure is important in the field of sustainable mobility, but also low-cost measures of traffic calming, such as speed reductions, retarders, or reducing space in city centers for motor transport. We can see examples of the second and the third measure on the pictures. They are taken from the center of the city of Bratislava. On this picture, we can see Cykl most slobody in Slovak, or Bridge of Freedom, or familiarly Bridge of Chuck Norris, but it's non-official name. It's a cross-border cycle bridge between Slovakia and Austria, and it's a good example of cooperation between these countries. And another two cross-border cycle bridges are under preparation between Slovakia and Austria. Here on this slide we can see some web sources from which the cycle fans could take information from. The second and third one, they are on they are they are down on the left and on the right of this slide, and these are map portals. And the first one on the right top corner of this slide is brand new website operated by the Ministry of Transport and Construction of the Slovak Republic, and its purpose is to serve as information and communication platform for the cities and other relevant stakeholders. Then let's talk about public passenger transport. At the moment, at the ministry, we are preparing the new law on public passenger transport, whose goal is to improve the coordination of the various transport modes, and to enable in the future for passengers to use one travel document like travel card for traveling through the whole Slovak Republic. And we then I can mention support for formation and development of integrated transport systems, and so on. Other priorities of the ministry in the field of public passenger transport include construction of car parks at major railway stations. We can see an example of such a car park on the photo. It is a car park located near Bratislava, next to the railway station. Then car parks are thematically interconnected with integrated passenger transport terminals, and other important priority is including of shared transport systems like bike sharing, shared electric scooters, and so on into the public passenger transport system. Then investments into the infrastructure is quite important, like modernization of mainly rail infrastructure, railways, tramway tracks, trolley tracks, and so on. Then modernization of vehicle fleet of carriers, that's connected with introduction of vehicles with alternative fuels, and in agglomerations of large cities, it is important to prefer transportation with by trains and by using trains and trams. to avoid congestions on the roads. To conclude, after the declaration of COVID-19, as it was mentioned, passengers worry about traveling by public transport. So there is a threat of potential increase in individual car transport. So it is important to support sustainable transport modes, like non-motorized transport and so on, and to build safe infrastructure for these transport modes. Our goal in Slovakia is to achieve a 10% share of bike transport on the total division of transport labor in the next period, and we are trying to ensure the finances for this transport, not only from the state budget, but also from the EU funds, like Next Generation Plan and so on, and to re-establish the National Transport Infrastructure Fund. That's all from us. To thank you for your attention, and we are prepared to answer your questions. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much to three of you for this interesting presentation. As mentioned, our speakers are ready to respond to all your questions, so please go to chat and ask questions to our speakers. You mentioned national cycle strategy. It shows that in your country you treat this issue very seriously. It's very good, because I think that it's not so popular to have this strategy for cyclists, especially on the level of the ministry. So it's excellent that in Slovakia we can have this example and we can treat this document as best practice. So it's very good, and thank you for sharing this information with us. What is very also interesting, you confirmed this, what I mentioned on the beginning, is that people are afraid of public transport and using bicycles or other source of transport more now. So it's not only the issue in the case for example, Poland, but also, as we can see, also from other countries. And on the end, exactly what you said on the end is about the money. Without money, we cannot do anything. We can have goodwill, but without money, we will do nothing. And you mentioned that it would be worth to have this financing or co-financing from EU funds. And it's, I think it's perfect timing that you mentioned that, because now we are discussing about the new EU perspective. It was just discussed in Brussels. So this division of money between countries. So maybe now countries can think about using them not only for like hard infrastructure for cars like motorways or expressways that we have in our countries now highly developed, but also for bicycle paths. So that's very, very good what you said. It's worth to be remembered. Good. So thank you once again to Bratislava. Now we will go to our colleagues and your neighbors, so to Czech Republic, and I will ask our next speaker. If you just let me. Okay, perfect. So we have Jarosław Martinek. He's a member of Technical Committee 2.1 in PIARC, or World Road Association, Mobility in Urban Areas. Jarosław, can we see each other or hear each other? Can you turn on your camera and mic? Then it will be perfect. Good. I can see you and hear you, so I'm just opening your presentation. The floor is yours.
And, I don't see my presentation. Sorry. Okay, perfect. The first, I would like to invite our Slovak colleagues because your presentation was excellent, and I see that situation in Czech Republic is very similar as in Slovak Republic. We have Czech cycling strategy, we have a Czech state fund, we support cycle path and other. But my presentation will be not about success, will be not about status quo, maybe will be about our problems. And I think that's our problems, the same in Slovak, Poland and Hungary. The first, I would like introduce summary my presentation. The first, I would like introduce my organization, maybe situation on Ministry of Transport. The second, I would like introduce Europe context, experience with in Europe. And the last slides in my presentation will be about Czech Republic and about special new project Danube cycle plan. And my Slovak colleagues spoke about this project too. And I see its excellent possibilities as the first meeting about this project. Okay, the first. Our association, Partnership for Urban Mobility. We create it in 2013. The first name our association was Association for Cities Cyclists, but we changed this name for the Partnership for Urban Mobility because we see that our city is not only about cyclists, are about pedestrians, cars, public transport. But the main idea, our cities, we would like support one vision. Our cities are cities of short distance. Why short distance? Because the first is walking, cycling, and cars is good for long distance, it's maybe. Why our name is Partnership for Urban Mobility? It is same name as Europe context, Europe project, Partnership for Urban Mobility. Our Ministry of Local Development with other Europe partners coordinate a special, very interesting project, Partnership for Urban Mobility. And this project has 4 parts: support governance, support public transport, support active modes, and support new mobility. And we like this project, and we said we would like introduce this idea in Czech Republic, maybe in Slovakia, Hungary, maybe in Poland. Very good information, but unfortunately, it's only theoretic information in which would like to put to concrete situation in Czech cities. It's very hard. Theoretic, it's very easy, but practice level is more difficult. For example, when I study only, for example, 4 Europe documents, the first, I read a special Europe report about our situation, support sustainable mobility in our cities, not only Czech Republic. It's special report about all Europe. It's recommendation for you listen this read this document about really situation in our countries. Maybe our countries is car countries, not cyclists, not walking. The first is car. For this reason, it's good that Europe level prepare a special new edition, development, implementing sustainable urban mobility plan. In Czech Republic, we prepare a special methodology. In Slovakia, prepare maybe the same material. And this guidelines has many more and more others recommendation. One from this is special recommendation COVID SAMP briefing introducing about possibilities, special measures for support cycling transport too. For example, Europe Cycling Federation prepare a special web portal, and in this web portal introduce new measures, new recommendation for development cycling in our countries, not only Czech Republic, but in Italy, France, and other. Unfortunately, when I saw in this website in Czech Republic, nothing. I can only read good recommendation from Paris, from Barcelona. Where is the Czech Republic? And other, the same. Speed reduction. I only read good experiments from other country, but unfortunately nothing from Czech Republic. And the same, open streets. Nothing in Czech Republic. And other, shared mobility, nothing. Okay, we cooperate with Nextbike and other company, but it's initiative from only this company, not from the cities. Cities solves only COVID, not cycling transport. Maybe we discuss about public transport. Okay, not problem. But discussing about development cycling transport in Czech Republic, no discussion. Maybe it's similar situation in Slovak, maybe it's similar situation in Hungary, I don't know. But in Czech Republic, we don't speak about support cycling transport after COVID-19. But we try to find opportunity for us. And we try to change this situation. It's excellent for my country, for Poland, for Hungary, Slovak. Is a very good document, the PEP, Partnership on Cycling. This material prepared, and maybe the next year will be in May in Vienna, supported our Ministry of Transport, not only Czech Republic and Poland and other Hungary, Slovak. It's very good recommendation for our countries. And we would like working with this document in input to Czech Republic and cooperate with Slovak, Hungary, and in Poland. Now we are starting a special project, Danube Cycle Plan, and this project has 3 easy recommendations. I introduce for us for this discussion. The first, now in Czech Republic we will prepare a new government urban active mobility concept. It's very similar, and one part that will be about national cycle strategy. The one main advantage is this document will be about synergy, about health, about environment, about safety, about walking, about cycling, about public transport. We would like support synergy effect. Yesterday I was in our Ministry of Transport, and we started this process. And I enjoy to cooperate with Slovak, Hungary, and with Poland too, because not only about Czech Republic, it's about us, about Vyšehrad cooperation. And I would like invite to cooperation, prepare strong government documents. The second, now we are starting prepare national long-distance cycle networks. Yes, we have Czech state funds, we enjoy to Europe funds, but we must cooperate with our region, with our cities, and we prepare a special project for our long-distance cycle routes. For example, this is picture Moravian paths in Olomouc region. We prepare 20 projects in this along the river. But we need the money not only to recreation, but for transport, cycle transport too. The other parts, our mission in Czech Republic is teaching, is learning about not only cycling transport, but about mobility, system of mobility. We prepare a special new website, Economic Mobility, but it's very similar as English version eltis.org. But this is information is only English version, but now we prepare information in Czech version. But very important, not about only languages, Czech, Poland, Hungary. It's very difficult thinking in context our countries, because I think that our countries has other thinking about system mobility than Germany, Austria. We really the first support car transport. We would like to change this situation. The first, we complete new methodic guidelines, not only in Europe version, Europe level. We trying to find a concrete Czech experience. We would like to cooperate with Poland, with Slovak, and with Hungary too, because our countries has other thinking that Germany, Netherlands, Austria. We would like prepare new guidelines in our context thinking. We start a special campaign, City Changers, is about us, about people, not about cities, region. We need to find concrete people, concrete managers, concrete teachers, concrete students, concrete people, concrete that, and we prepare with them interview about our future, our cycle transport, about future our cities, and we would like to find ambassadors with mayor levels, with teacher levels, with students levels, and we trust when these people, about we can change opinion, thinking about cycling transport and about cycling system of mobility. And the last picture is about learning. We learned from many good guidelines, and we find very good guidelines promoting mobility behavior changes, and we try to learn our cities how change opinion about public, about sustainable mobility. Now in September, we prepare the first summer schools about changes opinion about cycling transport. Maybe it's this last picture. This is my name, and I invite you to cooperation, because I trust it's not only about these webinars, it's about our future cooperation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Maślo. Thank you for your very interesting presentation, and I totally agree with you that our local perspective and local mentality here in this region is a little bit different than, for example, in Netherlands or in Denmark, for example. They are like biking forever, and for us it's something new, but this new situation maybe will force us a little bit to change our mind and change perspective. So maybe that's also the chance and occasion that we have, and we have to use it, because I hope we won't have other occasion like this anymore in our life. And also you mentioned the new mobility behavior and rule and safety, and I believe that this safety is very important for bikers. So we will divide this traffic between bikers and regular cars. So also people who are willing to go to bike will feel safe and secure. So that's also very, very important issue that that you mentioned. Thank you for that. And now we'll go further now to Hungary. And I will just look for our next speaker. Yes, here we have. Mate Verdes, he's head of ITS department in Hungarian public roads. Mate, can we hear each other, see each other? Yes, exactly, perfect. Very good, the floor is yours. I will open your presentation.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon to everybody. After my presentation is started, we'll talk about this topic with different angle because we heard very informative presentation level. I would like to highlight to you the thinking of the road operator and what is our role promote alternative transportation modes to compensate the effect of COVID and ensure more use of other transport modes. So, as you in my presentation, I will start a short introduction. Why is it important to see from this angle topic? The second part of my presentation is about some best practices, some initiatives that we are doing here in Hungary and with our neighboring countries. So I hope you find it very interesting. And after, at the end of my presentation, I will give you a short summary. So at first, I will highlight two sets of road operators, how we can enhance the alternative modes of transport. And I would be very happy if you are using the chat and would ask about your questions, and we will talk about it later. So on this screen, you will see transit in Europe. Why is it important? Why is it important to talk about it here? Because Hungary is a transit country. Because of the TEN-T road network is go through Hungary, we have to ensure the free flow of traffic and goods. So it is a really important task for us, and the Hungarian public roads is operating most of the TEN-T network in Hungary. I have to talk about the situation of the COVID pandemic because the Hungarian public roads responsibility changed, and we had to maintain a humanitarian corridor and to help the border crossing points to ensure the free flow of goods amongst our country. So it was a really important task for us, and it was a bit different situation. After the pandemic, we find many interesting things because most of the people are starting their journey in a municipality, but often this journey starting and ending point is not in the same municipality. So they are using public roads. And after the COVID pandemic, we have experienced most of the people would like to use private transport modes more often than public modes, and it's a huge challenge for us. Hungary public roads is operating more than 31,000 kilometers of roads, including bridges and expressways, motorways, secondary road network. In this presentation, second part, I will highlight how our role is changing during time is passing. So first, I have to talk about the cycle path, because 2 years ago we have to operate cycle path in Hungary. I will talk about it but the second part is also very interesting, because our role is changing. We have to have a new approach, a service provider approach, and our traffic control system is working with more and more data, and our role is data driven. In my presentation, I won't talk about details about micromobility, and I won't talk about autonomous cars and cooperative ITS systems. These are also very important, because they can help to us to make our roads safer, and to ensure the bikers and users of scooters can reach their destination more safely. But it's the core topic of my presentation now. So I will talk about the cycle path network in Hungary. 2 years ago, the Hungarian public roads started operating more than 1,000 kilometers of bicycle path, and it is challenging for us because it's a new task, and we had to prepare for it. We needed lighter trucks for operation and maintenance. The network is not needed because it has to be expanded. More than 2,000 kilometers of bicycle paths will be built in the next couple of years, and it is a fresh news that the government will financially support not just the electric cars, but electric bikes as well. So the pedelecs will be supported thanks to the government, and we hope more and more people will use this cycle path go to their jobs for traveling short distances. So I talked about the data-driven function of our traffic control, and it's very important to have measured data from our road network and bicycle road networks. We had many manual measurement, but its limitation wasn't enough. So we had to implement traffic counters on our bicycle path network, and also expanding because of the demand. Next slide, you can see what we are doing right now on the public roads. What are our latest findings? How we can go further? What are the most exciting research that we are doing? We are participating in many European funded and domestic funded projects with alone, but most of the time we are working together with neighboring countries, neighboring road operators, and other service providers, and sometimes OEMs as well. We are taking part in the Horizon 2020 finance program called Hidalgo, which is a big database project. And, we are going to have a pilot site in the city of Győr, close to the Austrian and Slovakian border, very close to Bratislava. We will introduce a dynamic traffic light control based on the monitoring of the air pollution level. It's very interesting to combine the air pollution measures and the traffic light control system. It's kind of new thing. And we'll have other interesting project which started this year. We will have a motorway section, sport section, which will have dynamic speed control based on different monitoring systems. For example, noise pollution. This is not so new because many other countries are doing this. We have a mixture of different monitoring systems, not just noise pollution. Why is it so important? Because if we will have data, we can transform it into information, and we can support decisions. The previous presentations here that transportation sector has very limited resources, and we have to use it very effectively. So that's why we have to measure everything that we can, analyze and rank our investment to have better traffic systems. After we will have measured data, we can find out that a company or a small country cannot do enough because we have thinking in a huge network. So a cooperation and data sharing, experience sharing is must. It's very important. Sharing the data with our neighbors, with road operators, and even with cities or service providers, can make transport system better serve the users' needs. So we are always finding new solutions to have cooperation agreement with the others. We have a great efforts in this field, and as a founding member of the PIARC organization, we believe in the strength of cooperation and sharing practices even in difficult times in changing world. So thank you for your kind attention. If you have any questions, feel free to write, and I will answer it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mate, for your presentation. What is interesting, very interesting I believe for most of us, is that in Hungary, as a road operator, we are also dealing with bicycle paths. So it's not always so obvious, because there are other bodies in other countries that are dealing with it on the national level, especially. So you are dealing with motorways, I believe, and also bicycle paths. So it's very challenging to find a balance between those two issues. And also you mentioned about this cooperation with Austria and Slovenia. So I think it's excellent place now here with other colleagues from the Visegrad group to think about other partnerships. So here with Czech Republic, Slovakia, or Poland, we will be happy also to think about it together, as we are cooperating very closely as the V4 road forum. So thank you very much, Mate, for your presentation. Now we will go further. This time we will go to Poland, and here I'm just looking for Marek. Marek is here with us, so please turn on your camera and your mic, so we'll also have opportunity to go through your presentation. And of course, please remember, I'm mentioning to all of our participants, please, if you have any questions, go to our chat and ask questions to our speakers. Now, Marek is the last one, so after this presentation, we'll have some time to go through the discussion. Okay, Marek, so I'm opening your presentation, the floor.
Okay, thank you, Alexandra. Hello, my name is Marek Zając, and I'm the employee of the Regional Roads Authority in Krakow, and I have the privilege to be the member of the team that is responsible for development of the integrated bicycle road network in the Lesser Poland voivodeship in the Małopolska region. And before I present you how did it happen that Małopolska region is the best place on earth to ride a bike, let's start with some facts. According to European Cycling Federation data, cycling has strong impact on longer and healthier lives. It reduces mortality and morbidity. Cycling prevents over 18,000 premature deaths per year in the European Union. Basing on this data, the regular cycling also contributes to healthier lives by helping to prevent a large number of serious and chronic diseases. For example, cardiovascular diseases, diabetes.
Marek, sorry to interrupt you, but we cannot hear you very well. Do you have maybe like mic with your headphones somewhere or next to you, very close, if possible? Maybe that will be a better solution, because we are losing sometimes the voice, so and we don't want to lose your presentation.
I have something like this.
It would be helpful, I believe, because sometimes it's easier for voice to go through the mic with the headphones.
How now? Is it better?
Excellent. Yes, perfect. Yes. Thank you.
Okay, so start. I was talking about the impact of cycling for a longer and healthier life, basing on this data of European Cycling Federation. Cycling prevents some serious and chronic diseases, for example, cardiovascular diseases, diabetes type 2, breast cancer, colon cancer, and osteoporosis. Before we started the cycling revolution in our region and also in other regions of Poland, such as zachodniopomorskie, śląskie, świętokrzyskie voivodeships, there was where to bike in Poland because there are over 20,000 kilometers of marked bicycle routes in Poland, but their main disadvantage is they are local loops and they are not suitable for multi-day tourists. And the truth is that there's no real bicycle tourism without true bicycle infrastructure. But to be honest, the true bikers will overcome all problems, as we see this boy is dealing with his squared wheel. Speaking about the main subject of our today meeting, the mobility behavior in post-COVID-19 world, we see that the bicycle traffic has increased a lot. People prefer to use.
Marek, there is still some issue with your voice, so we cannot hear you very well, as you can see also in chat. So if you'll hold maybe mic closer to your mouth, like without moving it, maybe, I don't know who, it's also your internet connection, which is maybe the reason of the bad connection, but please try to use your mic like close to your mouth.
Is it better now?
Well, if there will be any problem, then I will let you know.
Okay. So talking about the impact of the COVID-19 on the bicycle traffic, we see that the bicycle traffic has increased a lot these days. The people prefer to use their personal transport devices like a bike on the way to the work, and also many people changed their plans for summer from all-inclusive to bike inclusive. And this situation is a great chance for local bicycle tour operators. And our region, the Małopolska region, is prepared for this situation. Where did the idea for Velo Małopolska project come from? Our authorities very quickly noticed the growing interest of the inhabitants in sport and active lifestyle, the growing fashion for a bicycle. Bicycles started to be a symbol of a wise ecological approach to life. Our authorities noticed the natural and the tourism potential of Małopolska, the Lesser Poland region, and positive experiences of Western Europe countries. The numbers that convinced us to invest in bicycle route network are following: over 600,000 employments in cycle industry in European Union, 44 million euros annual incomes from bike tourism, 26 million bike travels per year, 170 million overnight stays for bicycle tourists each year, and from 50 to 70 euro daily expenses of a bicycle tourist in Germany and Austria. So, what is it, this Velo Małopolska project? It is integrated bicycle route network in the Lesser Poland, in Małopolska region. It consists of 8 routes, and the total length of the routes is over 1,000 kilometers. Among these routes, there are 2 routes from Eurovelo network, the Eurovelo 4 from Moscow to Kiev, and Eurovelo 11 from North Cap to Athens. And this is how Eurovelo routes run through our region. As you can see on the south of our region, we have the connection with our neighbors, Slovakia. The route Eurovelo 11 jumps several times from one side of the Poprad River to the other, with established 2 new border crossings on the bicycle bridge between Poland and Slovakia. Let's see some main features of our route network. It contains, as I said, from 8 main bike routes. The routes connect major cities of our region. The routes are made from asphalt, and they are intended for mass cycling tourism. They are suitable for riding with all types of bicycles. The routes are running along rivers, embankments, and closed railway lines. They are equipped with bike rest areas, and the operator of the whole project is Regional Roads Authority in Krakow, po polsku, in Polish, Zarząd Dróg the location of this 8 routes allows the tourist to visit the most beautiful and important places in our region, such as Benedictine Abbey of Tyniec, the Niepołomice Forest. Okay. Is it better? Okay. The tourist can see Rolling Stock Heritage Park in Habówka, rafting on Dunajec River, and can visit Auschwitz-Birkenau Museum and find the history that should never happen. Speaking of building from scratch the network of 1,000 kilometers of bicycle routes, we had to decide how we want to manage such a large project. Should it be the central management on a voivodeship level, or should it be the local management on commune level? Finally, we all agreed that the central management would be better if we want to maintain the same high standards. The situation needed the comprehensive approach, so we created a bike team, as we call it, in Regional Roads Authority in Krakow. And the bike team consists of road engineers, surveyors, traffic engineers, legal and financial inspectors, supervision inspectors, and at the end, the maintenance team. To implement uniform markings of our routes, we created the brand book, which established all logotypes for all the routes. What is tourist bicycle route? What does it consist of? It consists of bike paths, bike lanes on public roads, bike and pedestrian paths, and public roads with low traffic and low speed. In practice, by using existing bicycle infrastructure and by building the new one, and by building the additional infrastructure, for example, bike rest areas, and by marking the whole road, we develop a real tourist bicycle route that everybody wants to ride. Let's see some basic parameters of our bike routes. Talking about width, it's minimum 2 meters. We try to make 2.5 meters everywhere we can. It's minimum 3 meters for bike and pedestrian paths, and the slope is a maximum 6%. But taking our region is mountainous, it's sometimes hard to make. The road surface is asphalt everywhere where it is possible, and sometimes, for example, in the forest, when the owner of the forest doesn't agree for asphalt, we have to put the aggregate surface. Małopolska is not only bicycle routes, but also additional infrastructure, such as bike rest areas, built every 15 kilometers on each route. Bike rest areas consist of bicycle shelter, protecting from sun, rain, and wind, table with benches, bicycle stands, map showing route, and a few local tourist attractions, garbage bins, toilet, lighting, repair stations, and even barbecue. I know some elements look old, but they're not. They new ones. And some elements are made from the new material, corten, the modern rusted material. and it leads to some funny situations because some of the cyclists complain about that we can't even keep an eye on the contractor, and he sold us old and rusty crap. And it's not old and rusty, it's important. Here we can see a map where we can find where we are and to plan the travel and see the local attractions. When someone asked me what were the main problems during the implementation stage, I always mention two of them. The first one is private property, and because everywhere where we run our route, we have to collect all permits from all the owners of the property, and at some sections, for example, a section of the route length 1 kilometer, there could be even 100 properties. We have to collect all the permissions. And the second one, big problem, is the mountainous character of area in our region. It's beautiful, but it's hard to run the route in natural slope near to 0%. You will ask where we got the money for it all. The answer is European Union and the Regional Operational Program for 2014 and 2020. The budget in the first stage for about 500 kilometers is 35 million euros. In this amount of money, we have about 12 million euros own contribution, and we spent all the money nearly. And the second stage will be implemented from Regional Operational Program 2021-2027. Today, after 7 years from the moment we decided to develop bicycle route network, the work progress looks following. We have over 400 completed bike routes. We have nearly 100 kilometers under construction works and over 120 kilometers in final design and obtaining permits stage. The interest in the routes is high. In some cases, the cyclists don't even wait for the route to be finished, and they immediately start to ride just after the roller stops the engine. So we decided to count bicycle traffic in 6 spots, and the sensors embedded in the asphalt counted over 360,000 cyclists in 2019 and over 180,000 cyclists till 20th of July. And this is only for 6 spots where we are counting bicycle traffic. The next step for us is create the network of cyclist-friendly places. The owners of guest houses, agritourism farms, restaurants, museums, but also shops, bicycle service, and bicycle rentals can now apply for the certificate of a cyclist-friendly place next to the Polska bicycle route. So the cyclist will have the place where he can sleep, eat, and repair his bike. Here you can also see our plan for successive development of our network for the next years. All the yellow sections will be implemented in few next years. And finally, I want to share with you some of the pictures taken at our routes in Małopolska. Enjoy. As you can see, a lot of routes are built on the top of the rivers. embankments. We have over 120 kilometers on the embankments. Everywhere where we cross the main road or the railway, we do the collision-free intersections under or over the main route. Everywhere we can, we try to run routes near the rivers in the beautiful landscapes. We've built 8 big bike bridges of length over 100 meters and many more the little ones. We use concrete to build the bike bridges. We use steel and also the composite. We're not afraid of the modern technologies. We've got 3 bicycle bridges built from composite. For example, we have the glass reinforcement. Here you can see probably the most beautiful spot on the Velodunajec route at the Chorzyn Lake. Another one from the Chorzyn Lake. And here we got the bike bridge on the Poprad River connecting Poland and Slovakia on the Eurovelo 11. So thank you for your attention. Sorry for the problems and see you on the Velomopol.
Thank you, Marek, for your presentation. It was interesting. However, we couldn't hear all what you mentioned, but most of the information we saw on the slides. So it's excellent that we had this opportunity. And what I catch from your presentation is what was very interesting, I believe, for all of us, that bicycles are important not only for environment. Now we are talking a lot about the ecology, about the environment, sustainability, and everything what is around us about planet and ecology, but also but we are forgetting about our health. It's not only coronavirus who is our enemy now, but it's obesity, heart diseases, and I believe bicycles can help us here a lot more than sitting in a car and going around very comfortably. You also showed a map with all the connections with the bicycle routes around Europe. So it shows like there is no border between countries. You can go easily from one country to another. Like we have this TNT network for roads, but we have to remember also about the network for bicycles. So that shows that this green velo route about which mentioned our president in the beginning is important because it connects all our countries. So once again, thank you, Marek, for your presence. We have a video for you to show you this this road. I hope it will be visible for all of you. So that was one of the parts of this bicycle route that we have here in Poland. As you saw, it was quite empty, but I believe that during the COVID time now it will be full of people going around on their bicycles. As I mentioned on the beginning, now it should be time for discussion or for questions, answers from your side to our speakers. As you can see in the chat, I believe that all of you can see it on your right side. There was some question to our Slovak colleagues regarding Chuck Norris Bridge, but they responded already, so I don't believe that there is a need to go through this once again. Chuck Norris is quite popular in this region of the world, so it's interesting that you have even one of the bridges called after his name. And there is one question about COVID-19 vaccine certificate chip is going to be required to travel, and I believe that we don't know yet because there is no vaccine yet. But I don't know if any of our speakers would like to answer to this question. If you can just let me know in chat if you have any ideas about this topic. So then I will ask you. Maybe I will ask our colleagues from countries like from Hungary, Czech Republic and Slovakia one by one to tell us if there are any restrictions to go to your country, because as we are so close, as we are neighbors, I believe a lot of our citizens would like to go to one of your countries and take the bike with them. If there are any restrictions just to travel between our countries. So first I will ask our Hungarian colleagues. Mate, are you here with us still? Please, if you can turn on your camera or your mic. Do you know if there are any restriction to any of the citizens from other country to come and to use bike in your roads?
There is some restrictions. There are a list of countries where only after COVID test you are able to enter the country and move freely. You don't have a COVID test and you are coming from these countries, you are not allowed to move freely. You have to be quarantined. So number of countries and so not just only countries, but different parts of countries can be in this category of risk. So I highly recommend to you to see the ambassador's web page before you are visiting to see if your area.
Thank you, Mate, for this information from Hungary. I will just look for our next speaker, Marian, so Slovakia. If you can turn on your camera once again or your mic. How is the situation in Slovakia? I believe you know it best.
So in Slovakia, there are some restrictions regarding COVID. People must wear face masks in public when using public transport and in the publicly accessible buildings, and there are no restrictions in terms of bicycle transport, and most of European countries countries of the EU are on the so-called green list. So citizens of these countries can enter the Slovak Republic or leave our country.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Michal, for your response. So I believe that it's a very good situation now in Slovakia. I will also ask our colleagues from Czech Republic. Jaroslav, can we hear each other? Yes. And microphone, please.
Sorry.
It's good.
In Czech Republic is the same situation as in Slovakia.
Okay.
No.
To be honest, I visited Czech Republic 2 weeks ago, and it was quite easy, no like control on the borders, or it was even people were more relaxed than we are in Poland. So it's very good in Poland. So information for all other countries. In Poland, you also the same as Czech Republic, Slovakia, you have to wear face masks in public places, so like in shops or closed offices, and also you have to keep the distance between people, like 2-meter distance between one another. So when you will be using your bike, just keep the distance. But normally, when you are outside, you will you can do whatever you want, and you are not obliged to have any restrictions. Very good. We have here just confirmation from our Hungarian colleagues that Poland, Slovakia, and Czech Republic are not among the countries with restrictions to enter Hungary. So it's very good. So for all of you, it's a recommendation for your summer holidays. You can take your bike. The best way to spend the summer holiday here in the region, using your personal transport or bicycles. Yes, so our Hungarian colleagues are inviting us, take your bike and come. So the same for Poland, Slovakia, and Czech Republic. I believe it's so beautiful places to go. Good, so thank you very much. We have no more questions in our chat. So thank you for all the speakers for your time and your presentations, and also to our participants. Thank you for being with us. Our webinar will go to YouTube today. So if you would like to go back to any of those presentations, they will be available there. And also, if you will have any more questions, just let us know, and we will forward those questions to our speakers. Thank you very much. Have an excellent afternoon and stay safe.